my mom. She was driving Uber. So I was like, how do I retire my mom? I'm like, all right, I'm going to start a cleaning business. We did 12 grand our first month, did 20 grand the next month with 8 grand of profit.
So what is the top 3 industries for home services?
House cleaning, number 1. I really like mobile detailing. And the number 3, window cleaning. For house cleaning, the average cleaning I see for a first time deep clean is $350. You do the first time deep clean, you're going to have about 20 to 30% of those people are going to sign up for weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly service. And so you'll make a little bit of money on your first clean, but then you're boosting up those profit margins going into that weekly, bi-weekly, monthly service.
If I'm brand new, I want to get into home services, how can I go make my first 10 grand?
Oh, dude, very simple. You need
Welcome back to the Wealthy Business Podcast. I'm your host, Javi Chavez. I'm here with Johnny Robinson. Dude, this guy's a killer. We were just talking before the podcast. How much did you do in your home service business?
well, we did well over $1 million by the time we sold it, but the business actively now does about 1.2, 1.3.
So the business is 1.2, 1.3. You had an exit at what, 22?
I was 22, yeah.
Yeah,
22 or 23.
Yeah, so early 20s, had an exit. You're basically, for all intents and purposes, kind of retired your mom, but not really. Like, you gave her a position. Now, how much is that business making for your mom?
Actively retired. But yeah, it's so we're going to have our first $50,000 month at about 45% profit margin.
Amazing. So if you guys are interested in home services, or if you're interested in actually scaling a business that, in my opinion, I think pretty much anyone can start and requires
about
minimal
$1,000.
Yeah, about $1,000.
Yeah.
That's less than I would have thought. That's awesome, man. So yeah, tell me about like kind of your story. Like, how did you end up getting to a big exit at 22 years old?
Yeah, so what happened was I had a job I was a lifeguard, a water park lifeguard. I wasn't even good enough for the wave pool, so I was lazy river.
There we go.
And dude, I'll tell you, the worst experience that you can ever have is having to walk the lazy river for 8, 9, 10 hours a day in water shoes. Like, it is the worst experience, getting paid like $10 an hour. And so I moved to Orange County. I grew up in a small town in Southern California called Hesperia. And it's basically, I call it like the ass crack of Southern California. It's just like nothing out there. So we moved to Orange County, get the job as a lifeguard, and my mom was like, hey, you can have this car, but you got to take over the payments. It's $460 a month, a Toyota RAV4. And I get my first paycheck, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, I made like no money, and I'm just going to work to basically cover this car payment is what it feels like. And she's like, yeah, welcome to the real world. And I'm like, oh, there's got to be a better way than this. And so the whole, like, growing up, I thought you needed a degree to start a business. Come to find out, you didn't need a business degree to start a business. You could just start. And I found that on the internet. And I'm like, well, let me go to the smartest guy I know. I went to my best friend from the 7th grade. His name is Sergio. And I was like, hey, dude, you didn't need a degree to start a business? And he's like, yeah, I didn't know that either. So I'm like, oh, cool. So you want to start a business with me? And he's like, no, he's going to school for civil engineering. And he's like, I'm want to just focus on civil. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then a week later, he saw a Gary Vee video. He's like, hey, dude. And he also couldn't get a job. He's interviewing at like Arby's, McDonald's.
What year is this, by the way?
This is 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is like May, June 2017. And so he comes back to me. He's like, let's start something. And we're like, okay, what do you want to start? And so we decide that like our whole goal is like, let's make money tomorrow. So we think service, right? It's either between landscaping or window cleaning. And first, the idea was to go stand at the gas stations and clean windows. We didn't know window cleaning was an actual industry. And so what we did, I Googled window cleaning, come to find out it's an actual industry. Commercial, residential, storefronts, all need it. And so we look up the startup cost. We're like, all right, we can go for $150. We don't have that much money, right? Sergio doesn't even have a job. And so we start J&S window cleaning, Johnny and Sergio window cleaning. We started on June 17th, 2017.
How long did it take you to get your first client?
Same day.
There you go. How'd you do that?
Same day. We went across the street after we got our stuff from Amazon. We had our Walmart polos on, and we pitched this donut shop right across the street from where we were living. And they were like, yeah, we'll pay you if the job is good. And we're like, all right, like, cool. So we clean the windows, and it's like 2 windows, and takes like an hour, because believe it or not, there's skill to cleaning windows.
For sure.
And so we're still like, we were just practicing like right before we went out to like start pitching. And they're like, yeah, it looks really good, but how about we pay you in donuts? And so we're like, yeah, we'll take it. So our first job, we got paid in donuts, but then we're like, all right, this is not paying the bills. So we went down the street, and we pitched a dry cleaner, and she haggled us down from like $20 down to $12. It took us an hour and a half. So maybe like $3 an hour, but that was our first job that was our first job. And then we pitched like 2 or 3 more down the street, and we landed one for like $40 a month. We landed one for $50 a month, and then we landed one for $80 a month. So we made all in all, I don't know, like
So
close
what,
to
you just
$200.
progressively try to like see how much more you could get, or like what determined the price points?
They were just bigger and bigger jobs. So we
Got it.
priced by window. So I think we were doing like, I don't remember, dude, like $4
That's
a
crazy.
paint or something.
That's
but
funny.
yeah.
So if I'm brand new, I want to get into home services. How can I go make my first 10 grand?
Oh, dude, very simple. It depends. You have two ways to do it. You could do it the remote way, or you could do it the sweaty way, right? Knowing what I know now, you need a squeegee. You need, if you're gonna do window cleaning, right? You can do this in window cleaning, house cleaning, car detailing. Get whatever equipment you need, bare minimum, because most of those industries you don't need a license for, and you can get started for $200 or less, right? Get the bare minimum equipment and just go start knocking on doors. I would do it in residential though. Don't do it in storefronts. And just say, hey, you need your windows cleaned. We're here. Like we just did your neighbors next door, and go door to door, and you can easily make $10,000 in your first month with window cleaning just by going door to door. Now, if you don't want to do the work, let's say you have a 9 to 5, you could do it the remote way, right? Where you can use contractors. I love contractors. It's something I wish I knew when I started, because contractors already have the equipment and the vehicles necessary to go out and do the job. You don't have to pay for their gas. You don't have to pay for that vehicle, which we bought 3 trucks in the window cleaning business eventually. And so like, and we had, we're 19, 20, no credit. So we're like just draining our profit. Contractors already have their own cars and equipment. And you also don't have to pay for that equipment. So if they lose something, if they break something, it comes out of their pocket, not yours. And they have something W-2 employees never will have, which is pride and ownership. Because they're still their own business, right? And so your job becomes, how do I generate the leads?
Yeah, your marketing agency at that point,
Yeah.
right?
And so all you need to do is go to Google Business Profile, make a Google Business Profile location. It's free. Sign up for Google Local Service Ads, which is just going to be the big green Google Guaranteed badge that pops up whenever you search for, if you're looking for a house cleaner near you, a window cleaner near you, you're looking for an electrician. It's going to be the first thing that pops up into the search bar. What I love about home services is it's so much in demand, right? It's a supply constrained business. So like people are searching for it all the time. So when someone searches up house cleaning Las Vegas, let's say we're in Las Vegas, who do you think they're going to call? They're going to call the first company that pops up into that search bar, right? And so you can get leads for $20, $30, $40, but they're super high intent. So you should be able to close them at a 50, 60, sometimes like my mom's closing like a 90% clip. So because they're already searching, you can get really small customer acquisition costs. And then as long as you find 1 or 2 good contractors, send them to the job, and then you pay them. We pay our contractors 40 to 45%. So we're keeping 55 to 60% of our gross revenues.
Okay. And then how much would you say ad costs are? So, okay, you in that model, you have, $20, $30 a lead, you're paying half. And then what are you charging?
You charge to our average for house cleaning specifically.
Sure.
The average cleaning I'm see for a first time deep clean is $350.
Okay.
And now keep in mind, it's kind of like a software business. We talked about this a little bit. You do the first time deep clean, you're going to have about, as long as your contractors are good. If you're sending,
your retention's going to be great,
your
right?
retention's going to be good. Like 20 to 30% of those people are going to sign up for weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly service. And so you'll make a little bit of money. I would say about 20% profit you should be at on your first clean, but then you're boosting up those profit margins going into that weekly, bi-weekly, monthly service.
Got it. Okay, so you scale your business up. At what point were you like, all right, let's see if we can sell this thing?
Well, we never had plans to sell. We were going to build like the Chick-fil-A of window cleaning was always the goal. Like we were dead focused on building this window cleaning business, and we had really started to get up there. Like we landed the 2 biggest private university contracts that we still have. The business still has them to this day. And so we were like, 3 trucks, big crews. And I was tweeting about how we were running contractors instead of employees, and how I was running my window cleaning business. And my handle on Twitter, I got lucky. I think this played a big role. It was Squeegee God. It still is Squeegee God. And people started following me, and they just really liked that I was this college student growing this window cleaning business at like 21, 22. And they were asking me how they could do it too. And so I was like, well, you can't really do it. And I had just read $100 million offers. And so I had no idea this whole like online world existed. And then read that book. I was like, we could totally like do like gym launch for cleaning, right? And so that's what we actually decided to do was squeegee launch.
So very original.
That lasted like a month maybe. We actually ended up selling a couple of packages, but I was like, no, this is not going to work because it's too challenging to do the sweaty way. And then also, like, if you want to do it the remote way with contractors, you need to be in a really large metro. And I had people from all over hit me up. So I was like, house cleaning would work though. And at the time, like my mom had raised me on her own pretty much, and she was driving Uber. And so I was like, how do I like retire my mom and also build the authority in house cleaning, which I know will work because it's the same thing. Like I know I can coach someone at the time to get results in cleaning, right? The only thing that's different is you're selling a different service, but other people aren't going to believe that. At least that was my thought process. So I was making good money with the cleaning business, the window cleaning business, but it wasn't like, hey mom, here's $5,000. Don't drive because we're living in Orange County. It's expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm going to start a cleaning business. I opened up a new Amex Gold, and I'm going to call my shot on Twitter. I'm going to say I'm going to launch a new house cleaning business to show you guys this works in pretty much any niche. And so new Amex Gold card, put $2,000 of ad spend into Yelp, which was our primary channel. It still is. And we ended up doing $12,000 of revenue our first month. And I told my mom, I just stopped driving. Like, just trust me. Speak these words I tell you to speak on the call when the leads come. And
that's it.
And that's it. Yeah, hired the cleaners. And we did $12,000 our first month with $4,000 of profit. Did $20,000 the next month with $8,000 of profit. And she hasn't driven an Uber since that January of 2022 when we launched that business.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Or December, I believe it was. 2021. But
that's awesome. And
then to answer your original question was, that took off, right? We launched Home Service Academy. We pre-sold 15 people to make sure we could get results. And so it was like a year-long thing, 15 people. So for the next 3 months, all we did was like, how do we get these people results? And we pre-sold like $50,000 in packages. And those people crushed it. And then I took that $50,000 from that we collected, didn't spend any of it, just put it into like, okay, let's get a videographer. Let's start doing YouTube content. Let's start doing TikTok. Let's start doing Instagram. And then Home Service Academy was born. And that business went 0 to 2.8 million in 9 months.
That's amazing.
And so then we were like, what do we do? Like,
so are we on month 9 now? Or was that the first 9 months? And now, how long has Home Service Academy been around?
Almost 4 years now.
4 years. Okay, got it.
So that was the first year. And so the middle of that run up, that initial run up, we were like, what are we doing? Like, let's not do both of these businesses. Let's focus on one. And Home Service Academy just seemed like the way better vehicle.
We have some info people that watch. So I want to talk about the info side first. But first, I want to finish the home services business because is there anybody that shouldn't start a home service business?
Truck drivers. Truck drivers, yeah. I mean, people who if you can't pick up the phone, like if you're someone who's in meetings all the time, like I would say initially, if you're getting started, like bare bones, your job is just take phone calls and close them.
And you said startup cash is like $1,000. So what does that $1,000 include?
You have your softwares, right? So you have Booking Koala. This is gonna allow people to book on your website. So as you start to build your reputation in your area, a lot of people, there's people who want to call and book. There's people who just want to get a quote and book online.
For sure.
And so you want to open up that kind of channel for those people. And so Booking Koala allows you to do that, stores all your customer information. You can onboard your cleaners. They have an app. So Booking Koala, number 1. Number 2, CleanWorks, which is our software. Our problem was that we had to make sure that every lead for our clients in HSA were followed up with until the end of time. Booking Koala doesn't have that function.
Their CRM.
Yeah, it's just making sure that they're always going to be followed up with. So, you're always keeping your ROAS in mind and getting, the juice out of your leads. And that's $57 a month for Booking Koala. CleanWorks is $97 a month. You have, your QuickBooks for $15 a month, your G Suite for $15 a month because you want a professional,
email and
domain and email. And then you have your insurance because you're going to hire contractors that have their own insurance. But in the case that something happens, God forbid, you want to be covered too. So $1 million general liability policy is going to be anywhere from $60 to $80 a month.
Okay.
And then you want to test clean budget because you want to make sure that your contractors are good. You're going to get a friend or a family member. So let's say I'm like, hey, Javi, I got this. Do you want a free clean? Of course.
Sure.
Yeah, you're going to say yes, it's a free clean, right? So you're going to say, yeah, I want a free clean. I'm going to send the cleaner to your house. To the cleaner, they're going to think it's a real job. You're going to pay them like it's a real job, that 40 to 45%. So let's say you have an apartment, it's $200.
Yeah. So basically, and to be clear, they're paying online, right? So that the contractor never touches the money.
Right. You're collecting their card through, and Booking Koala is integrated with Stripe.
Yeah,
so
got it.
You're pre-authorizing that card and charging it as soon as that clean's good and they're happy.
Yep.
And so I send that cleaner to your house and I just need you to ask them one question. Well, it does 2 things. Do they show up and do they do a good job? But 2, are they going to try to steal your clients? Because that is a small risk that you have to account for because they're contractors, they're not employees, right?
For sure.
So I'm going to have you ask the cleaner, how can I book again? And so what that's going to do is they're going to say, here's my card, Javi, I'll do it for cheaper.
Or just book online.
Right. Or, hey, just call the company you booked with. If they say, call the company you booked with, Really, really good green flag. This is after doing a background check. We use Checker. It's $30 and then per check. And then the test clean, right? So I'm paying them 40% of $200. It's $80. So you want to factor that in. And then
Got
about
it.
$500 of ad spend.
Okay. And based on that $500, I know it's going to vary market to market, but like, what could I expect if I'm good in terms of a return on that 500?
I'd say at least 3x.
Okay.
At least 3x. And like the cool thing is it stacks, right? So
Yeah.
like if you just
start
keep
getting
spending
recurring.
500, you're gonna walk into more and more recurring.
Yeah, for
revenue
sure. And then
along
you
the
have
way.
the leads from the last month and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, if I put in 1,000, if I do my stuff right and I learn from somebody like you, I can make 3. Is like a
Very
base.
conservatively, like at Marion and Mop, for example, my mom's business, like we see months between 12 to 16 to 1 return on ad spend.
That's awesome.
But we're also in California where Yelp crushes it.
Yeah.
Right? Yelp is not going to crush it everywhere. Some states like Arizona, Thumbtack is just killing it. Like we're getting people who have 10 to 1, right? But it all just depends on the market. So I'd say like test Google local service ads, Yelp, and Thumbtack if you're going to run paid in your market, whichever one you get the highest on, just double down on that one.
Got it. Who's your most successful student?
We have a couple. So like we have Billy. He's in, I forget what state he's in, but he just had his first, he landed a big contract. So he's going to have his first $200,000 month in July. We have Skylar in Nebraska, Skylar Sullivan. He does anywhere between 100 to 200, or I'd say 100 to 150 per month consistently in Omaha, Nebraska. We've got John Lobb in Austin, Texas. He's at 150 a month. We have Colberis in Denver at 150 a month.
Yeah.
These are all extremely profitable.
Yeah, that's great. So what is the best industry right now? Or you can give me the top 3 industries for home services.
House cleaning number 1, just because the recurring and startup cost component and the competition. Like if you call 8 to 10 cleaners in your area, you're going to have like 2 answer their phone, right? Like the competition is literally just, if you can pick up the phone, you'll win. So I like house cleaning plus, you know, a percentage of everybody that, you know, that you book is going to convert to recurring. I really like mobile detailing because of the availability of contractors. There's so many mobile detailers out there that don't have like branded trucks and they just like want more jobs.
I know, dude. There's a guy outside doing my car right now. And
really?
He's not branded,
Yeah.
like literally like terrible. And so,
How'd you find him?
Well, honestly, it's the girl, one of our employees. She found him at a gas station.
There you go. Dude.
He had like very basic sign, and she like she said she felt bad for him. So she's like, well, like, hey, do you want to do my car? And then turns out he does like all the people at the company. So he lucked out, but I know that's definitely not a good marketing strategy.
Yeah. I mean, like I look for industries like that, right, where you don't need a license, and the availability of contractors is huge, right? Mobile detailing is one of them. Like we have a guy, for example, who I did a speaking thing at, if you know Pace Morby.
Yeah, for sure.
For his like mastermind, and a guy was watching in the crowd. I didn't like pitch anything. It was just like, here's my story. Here's how we run cleaning companies remotely. And he's like, dude, I have a mobile detailing business. I'm like, oh, you know, come talk to us. He's been with us for over a year now. He does like $500,000 a year in his mobile detailing business completely remotely.
That's amazing.
It's here in Vegas actually. Too.
Yeah,
He's
that's
here in
cool.
Vegas. So mobile detailing number 2, and then number 3, I would have to say it's got to be window cleaning, just because that's what I know. And you still have a lot of contractors who need work. Even like the licensed trades, think plumbing, electrician, HVAC, you could do it too.
It just requires a little bit more licensing and upfront work.
You just need like what's called like a paper license. So you have to partner with somebody who has a license to be able to sell it. But you're still the same thing. You're just operating like a marketing agency basically, and outsourcing the work.
So is there any difficulty or skill involved with like the ads and the creative and stuff like that? Because I know for like social, for us, like we have spent so much time on making new creative, the ad targeting, etc. So like, how hard is that for somebody in the home services industry to master and learn? I know Yelp and Thumbtack, they kind of do it for you, but something like Google Ads.
Well, I can speak to both, right? Because we do the same thing. Right? I'm an info and a home service. So home service is a staffing constrained business. Like you live and die by the quality of the contractors you hire. If you just hire good contractors, the business is 90% done, right? You're going to get more reviews, you're going to get more referrals, and you're going to get more recurring revenue, right? So you win by getting really good at staffing and hiring. Whereas in info, it's you get good at marketing, right? People are searching for all these services every single day. And your biggest leverage point and how you stand out is your reputation. So if you just stay in the game for a really long time and focus on building a reputation, you'll win. Whereas that's not really true in info. Like you need to be testing creative, you need to be measuring your ROAS and your conversion rates, right? You don't really need to worry about that in home service. And so if you don't have any marketing expertise, I always say like you need zero, because you go on a platform like Yelp, Thumbtack, local service ads, it's all done for you, dude. You just click turn on and you start getting leads.
So, I mean, we've talked about how like simple it is to kind of get started, but like what are like the hardest parts about building a home service business?
Staffing.
Staffing?
Like, that is also
Yeah,
the hardest
that is
thing.
the only thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
dude, it is like you think about like for example, for Home Service Academy, my info business, I could go attract a really good high quality remote closer, right? Because the earning potential is there, right? You work from home, like it's a nice job, right? You attract a certain type of person. Whereas cleaning, like who wants to go out and bust their ass to clean houses?
Yeah,
You know,
on a consistent basis.
on a consistent basis. It's going to show up. They're not going to tell you, oh, my car broke down today, when it really didn't. I got to go pick up my kids from school. Or they're going to no-show ghost you, right? Like that is very common. And so you have to have the proper procedures in place to be able to vet those people out. And like realistically, out of every 10 to 20 conversations you have with potential cleaners, you might find one or two good ones.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, because it's just like, unfortunately, a low skill job.
That's what it is.
So I'm sure that the quality of employee or contractor is just so low. And why not just hire everybody as an employee?
Because you have to worry about workers' comp, payroll tax. You have to worry about training them, ramping them up.
Yep.
Paying for their equipment, their vehicles, their gas. Just becomes a big pain, dude. And with contractors, like you can actually attract better talent. Like people, like if you look at the big cleaning franchises, Molly Maid, Mary Maid, Two Maids and a Mop, you can get a lot of those cleaners that are used to making 16. Like the average W2 house cleaner makes $16 an hour, right? The average cleaner for a remote cleaning business, or the legal term is a referral agency, makes anywhere from $25 to $35 an hour, right? So you can poach a lot of this great talent into your business simply from the fact that you pay a lot better.
Got it. So why not do what Cody Sanchez preaches and like try to do a roll up or start acquiring all these home service businesses?
Why don't I do that?
Yeah, why not?
It just comes from focus, dude. Like you're trying to find that balance of
That's
like,
good.
like the classic advice of like divided attention gets divided results,
100%.
right? And so if we were to do a roll up, it's a whole new business, whole new infrastructure. And like one business is hard enough, dude. It's like you got to worry about the ads. And then you've got an organic, and then you've got affiliates, and then you've got fulfillment, right? And managing a team. Like there's a lot of leaky buckets still in this business.
It's kind of a loaded question.
I've got no business going and starting something else right now, you know,
For sure.
with the constraints and problems I'm trying to solve.
Absolutely.
In
So yeah, let's
HSA.
pivot then. So like what constraints and problems are you trying to solve in the info space?
So yeah, we were
your
talking about this before. Biggest thing has been just profitable ads for us. Like we're selling, remote cleaning, and now there's a lot of other people who've copied and came through the program, launched their own funnel, and ever since that's happened, like because we were like first to
What
move.
year was this where like you felt like there was a big drop? Was this last year?
2023.
Yep.
So we've been kind of break even on ads since 2023.
You're not alone. The info space in general, like since 2023, 2024, people are more skeptical. Info is cheaper than ever with ChatGPT and all this other stuff. So people are just not willing to spend. That's why we had to change everything. Since we changed, we're pretty happy with where things are going. But yeah, we saw the writing on the wall right around the same time you did, right? 2023, 2024, we like completely cut everything because like ad costs were going up, things were getting more difficult. So I do agree that you probably have some competition in your space, but I think it's just an industry-wide problem. Like we see, I mean, some of the people that you just mentioned earlier, they're trying to run a different challenge every single month, and they're still trying to figure it out. And I don't think they have yet, personally, based off just what I'm seeing, because they're like trying a new angle like all the time. And so yeah, I think personally the info space is just changing. I think and you're kind of already doing it, and what we do really well is becoming a service provider. If you can be a service provider for your clients, and then info is just like the bonus, like community and all the other stuff, and like learning how to use the tools, because everybody thinks like it's the idea of perceived problem versus actual problem. Everybody thinks the problem is, well, if I just had the tools and if I just had the leads, I'd be able to close. But in reality, they need the coaching and the knowledge to go do it, but no one wants to pay for that, even though they need it. So for us, we just shifted the angle to like tools, resources, etc. And then the coaching just becomes like a bonus. And that for us is working really, really well. And also like having more softwares and stuff that they can buy and upsells.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something we've incorporated, dude. It's like our problem was when we talked about this too. It was like we were just routed, like our lead scoring was screwed up. We had to buy our CMO, and he was like he was running
Partnerships are tough.
Yeah, he was running disqualified applications back to like Facebook's conversion API, which I don't see a lot of people talk about on the internet. That was a huge unlock for us. Like, dude, our quality of traffic and just people showing up to that closing call just skyrocketed ever since we made that switch and we started on a fresh pixel. Bro, it has been nasty, the people we're talking to, when we actually feed the right data back to Facebook. And it sounds so simple and I feel so stupid that it went on for so long.
But no one really does it. Like you said, no one really talks about like that nitty gritty part of it. And it does make a big difference. Because we do the same thing for like all of our, we don't do a ton of book a call traffic, but for anyone who buys a ticket to like our workshops and stuff like that, we just feed that data back. And yeah, it works pretty well. And then we always like, not from Pixel, but we upload all of our buyers' data and all that type of stuff too. So like anybody who's like bought any of our services will get fed back in.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. So ever since we did that, it's worked really well. We're getting people to show up, closing them. And now our biggest constraint is like, first it was like we were getting 20% show rate on this new funnel, and it's direct to app, right? So no VSL opt-in, just you hit the ad straight to the VSL. And then super low cost per call, but they weren't showing up. So tighten that up. We're getting to show up now.
Nice.
And now we can't convert cold traffic. Now it's like, dude, it's not one thing, it's another. So,
well, yeah. I mean, for my and I don't know your business, but what works for us is doing the webinar model for everything. Because you just said like cold traffic is hard to convert because they have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
Right. So how do they learn how to learn about you? Either you try to hope that they come in, they don't buy, but then they watch some of your YouTube content or something else happens, or you can control it where they spend an hour and a half or so with you on a webinar, or you do like what we do with our 3-day workshop. Now they've spent like 9-10 hours with us at this point. Now they're ready to buy. So that's why we convert cold traffic just as good as we convert our warm traffic, like on the same workshop. Like it used to be where we would like, it would take longer to convert the cold, but if I could give one piece of advice to any info product or any info person, it's just do more webinars. Like webinars, because at the end of the day, why would you put the ball in your closer's hands when you're the best closer?
Yeah.
Like,
ooh, that's fire, dude.
Yeah, it's just
fire.
Yeah, because that's what we do. Like myself and Ryan, we just run the workshop, and then now our closers, I mean, they still close, but I let go of 2 of them because I don't need them. I only have 2 closers to do all the revenue that we do, because at the end of the day, they're kind of order takers now. Like we collect a deposit on the 3-day because we have a couple different options. We're like, hey, just buy one thing, do the deposit, $500. Then after that, our closers just upsell.
Yeah.
And so like
the psychology completely changes after they've spent money, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like just, hey, let me turn the faucet now.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So it's like, yeah, then I'll let my people go upsell. But at the end of the day, like if they could, I bet you if you hopped on every sales call, you would close at a way higher percentage than what all your closers could. So why not just do that on a webinar? So that's kind of my thought.
That's great. Yeah, we have a working one too. Like we drive a lot of affiliates too.
Yeah.
So we'll do like, so let's say me and you did a webinar. I'd be like, hey, dude, yeah, how big's your email list?
Geez, like 300,000.
Like 300,000. Okay, like how many of those are buyers?
Probably. I mean, all time, probably like 5 to, I don't even know, maybe more, because we do our WealthCon events, like and stuff like that. We always have 1,000 people. We ran those like every quarter. Rough number will probably be like 10 to 15,000 buyers that have bought something from us. Yeah.
So I'm not going to do the math, but like maybe like 5%.
Yeah, sure.
People, right? So that means like 95% of your email list has never bought anything to you. What if they buy remote cleaning?
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And so it's like, I'll send you a swipe file. You'll send 6-7 emails leading up to a live webinar. And, we'll get a certain percentage that sign up. We see people who click, we see about a 50% conversion on signups.
That's cool.
And then we see about a 30% show rate. And so we'll get, let's say you send 1,000 signups, we get 300 people to show up. I'll convert about 40 to 50% of those people to book a call.
Yeah.
And to your point, I'll have them so warmed up by the end of it, they're just laydowns, and the closers are like, dude, I freaking love this.
Exactly.
And they think they're just the best freaking closers in the world, dude.
I'm like, guys, it's not you.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I send them to book a call, and they're like,
yeah, they have no idea how to do it.
I can't close now. Yeah. So point though, like we drive a lot of affiliates, and so we have the working webinar.
I would just do it. I would pump it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you need to change the offer. I don't think you need to do anything. I would just pump as much possible cash to that workshop.
Yeah, no, that's probably good advice. We're working on it right now, like nice. Live. But I think affiliates has been great for us though too.
So what's the roadmap looking like for the rest of the year? What's your plan? or goal?
Do you continue to try to crack paid?
Mhm.
Like we're like kind of like we're profitable, but we're not like I can't just throw as much money as humanly possible
Mhm.
into it and convert. You know.
What are your running ideas? Like, aside from obviously like we just talked about the webinar, but like what are you going to try to do to crack it? Have you
The
thought about?
biggest one is the webinar, like we've been talking about it.
Mhm.
But other than that, we've thought about low ticket to upsell, just because we have. So I brought our media buying in house,
Mhm.
and I was able to get the V Shred buyer that scaled
Cool.
V Shred to like it was like they're spending 2.5 million a week or something ridiculous, all
Mhm.
off low ticket. So the guy's like expertise is in low ticket, and he's like, dude, we could do low ticket whenever you want to do it. But I don't have it, proven the way I do the webinar.
What was the V-Shreds offer?
It was a quiz funnel. So
So spend money to take them to a quiz, and then what was their back end?
I want to say it was like $37 or $47 plus order bumps to maybe like $300 or something.
Got it. And they were profitable on that?
Yeah, they were like at 2.5 a week.
I know they're
or
spending
something.
2.5 a week, but what were they making?
Yeah, they were like 1.2.
A month?
Yeah, 1.2x on that.
So okay, so they spent basically what would you say 2.5 million a month or a week?
A week, something
So
like
they spent 2.5 million a week just to go 1.2 ROAS. So that means,
Yeah.
I mean, you could go 1.2 ROAS at what you're doing right now.
Yeah, but that's to 2.5 million a week, Like we're spending like 2K a day.
I know, but my
So-
point is like the margins are so slim on low ticket, and how much you have to spend in order to get to a 1.2.
I should say that's before the high ticket upsell.
Got it.
So 1.2 before the high ticket upsell. I don't know what their ROAS was after the upsell.
Yeah.
But they had a good take on that. And then our buyback is just really long too, right? So we'll take someone from, they purchase Home Service Academy on the front end. They have 4 months of one-on-one coaching. And then at the end of it, they usually around like 2, 3, 4, 5K a month. We have the exceptions are 10, 20, 30, whatever.
Yeah.
But usually, say 5K a month, then we're like, hey, you want to keep growing this thing because the problems you're going to deal with as you grow and scale are a lot different than when you're starting.
Yeah.
And so we'll have about 20 to 30% take on the upsell
Nice.
for a year.
Yeah.
And so we'll liquidate a lot of the spend, but it takes, 4 months.
Yeah, to see cash back.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did low ticket. We had we were doing like 80K a month profit. No, I apologize, top line. So it was cool. So out of that was 97 and 197 people. So yeah, we had all of our order bumps and upsells. We had Russell Brunson look at the funnel and do the whole thing. And we just found, and again, I'm not knocking low ticket because obviously he did it at a higher level than we did, but we just found that for the same level of effort, we could just market what we already do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My problem with low ticket is just like I don't know what I would sell them.
Yeah.
That would really be of value.
That's the other problem too. Like the low ticket people, like we did see upsells, so I won't discredit that. But the amount of upsells that we saw, it wasn't like a crazy number where we're like, oh, like this is great. And the people weren't even getting the value that they wanted. Churn was higher. I would ask your guy like, what was churn like on your low ticket, and what were your chargeback? What was your chargeback rate on low ticket? Because what we found was our most vocal unhappy clients came from somebody spending $97 a month with us, where they were like, they would forget about the subscription, they would get charged, and they'd be like, refund me my money. And I'm like, it's only $97, guys. If that's a problem to you, then we probably need to talk about high ticket and make sure that money isn't a problem to you anymore. But anyway, point is, I would like for us, what's always worked is like I will credit low ticket for making us think about the subscription model. And once we started doing that, that's when things like really took off again for us. And we still have the low ticket, but it's just organic. Like somebody can go find it and spend low ticket, but we don't run any traffic to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So with those workshops, how are those structured?
So basically the way it works is we do a daily recorded webinar. So they can, it's like simu-live, right? So they can either watch it every 15 minutes. So they opt in. It says, hey, starting in 15 minutes, or we have it for 9 a.m. Pacific the next day. We tested literally like every different hour and trying to figure out what hour would be the best for conversions. Turns out for us, and it varies for everybody, but 9 a.m. not only got the best conversions, but it got the best show rate on the 3-day. So we sell $97 and $197 tickets to our 3-day workshop. So the webinar.
At the end of the webinar.
Yeah, at the end of the webinar. That's our offer. Mostly to recoup ad spend and also to make sure they show for the next for the next thing. So 97 gets the access. 197 gets you a 30-day trial of our software. So we have a deal finding software and a CRM, so like a white label, go high level. 30-day trial of that, and then access to the community for 30 days and the recordings of the workshop and an extra hour. Basically, that extra hour is me on there and I'm pitching. Anyway, then the 3 days, it's day one's all mindset. So like, hey, get your mind right, set your goals, big picture. I talk about how to pay no money in taxes, getting rental properties, all that type of stuff. Day two is like the system, like how do we do it, right? So then it's 3 hours each day, extra hour VIP each day. So day two is the system, how we do it, why we're better than anybody else, how you could probably do it yourself, but it's way easier to do it with us is basically like the overarching theme. And then we pitch at the end of day two. Usually we convert about 60% of our conversions come on on that day. The other 40% come day three. So you get all the logical buyers because we teach them the how and like what to do day two. Then day three is all the emotional stuff. It's basically like a repitch. So Ryan comes back on, does like the my team tells me. I don't know if you've heard of that, but basically what it means, hey guys, so my team told me you have all these questions and I'm going to answer them now. So it's basically then now he comes back in and does a repitch.
Handles objections and
and then so basically re-shows the entire like process, like what you get, everything included. We walk through a deal from start to finish. So like how we use our softwares and just why it's better. And then from there, I do a little bit about like what it looks like to actually scale the business. So I'm like, hey, this is what it looks like in year one when you're a solopreneur. Here, this is what it looks like in year like 2, 3, 4, 5, once you like hire people. So again, getting them to think big picture. And then I go back in for a pretty like hard emotional pitch. So that's kind of the breakdown.
Gotcha. You see typically what converts on the people that show up?
So
on a percentage basis?
I would say on the people that show up, we're at anywhere between a 20 to 30% conversion rate on the front end. And then we always have like our sales team call and follow up, and usually we can get like another 5 to 8% in stragglers. So all in, it ends up being about 30% of the people who attend show. And what we found is like they usually just can't buy because of like finances. Like they just can't afford it, right?
So you're seeing 30% of people convert to purchase? Wow.
Yep. So it's solid. And for us, that works really, really well. And like I told you before, we operate at like a 1 to 1.5 ROAS on the front end. So that's between ticket sales, upsells, and then actual like purchases. And then since we're subscription based, and then we only pay our commissions for the sales team on the first month. So all subscription revenue is just pretty close to profit. We do have fixed costs because we run ads for the students. Like we generate leads for students. So that's a cost. And then our coaches. That's really the only overhead on all the subscription revenue. So we net more now than we did before when we just did the book a call model. That's the other piece too. Because when you eliminate the sales team or the sales team become order takers, like my sales team didn't like it, but I cut the commissions by 50% just recently because I was like, you guys aren't doing anything. So they didn't like it, but they're still making more than most closers. So anyway, so long-winded answer, but that's kind of the whole like breakdown of what we do. And I mean, we've done a ton of tests, we split test landing pages, we film new ads every week and whatever, like doing all that typical digital marketing stuff. So yeah,
dude, that's insane.
Anyway, so that's kind of the model. But as far as your business, like how many students do you guys currently have?
We have like 1.2 thousand active. We have over 2,000.
Nice. And then are they all on
3,000 now? One of our coaches said it was 3,000 now, but I still say over 2,000.
And what are they like? Are they all like active, paying some sort of thing, or are they in the community?
So we do lifetime access to the community, and a lot of those, I would say, of those 1,200, we've got about 400 to 500 active on the roster right now.
Nice.
That's both between, we have about 100 in the mastermind, 400 front end active.
And then do you guys do like live events and stuff like that too?
Yeah, we do one live event right now.
Yeah.
And so we did one last year in Scottsdale.
Oh, cool.
That was really cool. We had about like 60 or so.
You guys in some trouble or what?
Yeah, we screwed up because we made it one day. I wish we made it 2 days. And then we pitched when like it was 80% of people who like, we either could have created a whole new offer to sell, but we were like, okay, well, let's think about the operational problems that is going to come with by just creating a brand new offer. And so we're like, okay, we decided against it. We're like, let's just upsell people who are in the room that aren't in Accelerator, which is what our back end is called, to Accelerator. And then that just was terrible, dude. It was just so bad. And so, yeah, like,
Yeah, I meant like you guys go like, do you guys do after parties and stuff like that, or not so much? Like, is it just the main mastermind event?
it's just the main one.
Okay,
We
yeah,
do like local meetups too. Like,
yeah,
we'll put together like an LA meetup. All the LA
that's
people will
cool.
come. We'll have like 20, 30 people there.
Yeah.
But we're doing another one in Dallas. It'll be 2 days. So,
So,
we'll
what are you guys
see.
gonna pitch there?
Nothing.
Oh,
No, just
straight value, straight
Straight
fulfillment.
fulfillment. Yeah.
That's interesting.
We'll probably do some sponsorships to like break even.
Yeah.
But we're not going to pitch anything. I just don't know what to pitch them, dude. I don't know what I could possibly do for the people who are like.
Could you start an agency or something to like help them with like lead gen?
So we're working on that right now. We're working on because Facebook ads, like nobody that I know, and I know a lot of people in the home service space have cracked Facebook ads for cleaning.
Yeah.
So our media buyer and Sergio are working together on like different landing pages and creatives and running tests on different students to try to get Facebook ads really profitable.
Yeah.
So we're seeing good signs, but like I'm not gonna say we're there yet.
Are you guys just doing like static graphics or like
Static graphics? Yeah, and it's like this one cleaning loophole is saving Americans, saving
I
orange
mean,
residents thousands.
So what's working for us on our ads is it's Ryan's face. So I don't know, like you could become the like the home services guy, right? Like, and then it's all video ads. That's the difference. And because other people run home buying ads on Facebook and Instagram, everybody that I hear from, they're like, oh, Facebook ads suck. Similar to what you say, like home service people think Facebook ads suck because no one's been able to crack it. But I think what works for us is we just do video ads, and our video ads do the best for home buying.
Well, it works. Like window cleaning, it works. Any of the HVAC, electric, like any other home service minus
just
cleaning.
window cleaning?
No, house cleaning.
Oh, house cleaning. Sorry,
house cleaning is really tough because we're trying to like. We're also trying to like at least get break even, you know, especially for our new clients who are like they're not trying to go more in the hole, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So it just makes more sense to do more of like the bottom of the funnel platforms like an LSA or Yelp. But for Facebook, we're like, how do we become profitable day one? So we're testing right now. Our offer is like dirty ass toilet, with like this like something just disgusting to like throw them off. Like, oh, what the hell? What is this ad? It's like this cleaning loophole is saving people thousands to a lead form. And then book a call, like a time for us to reach out. And so
interesting.
We're getting people to book. We're getting like $8, $10 leads. Now it's just cracking the closing because we're trying to sell 3 cleanings up front. The offer is like free deep cleaning.
And the goal, because you just have to break even on the ads, is that why you have to sell the 3?
So we're trying to sell 4 cleanings up front. The deep clean plus 3 recurring cleans. One of the recurring cleans is free.
Got it.
That's
Okay.
like how we do it.
That's sweet, man. And like, 'cause I think that would be a great offer if you could crack it, right? Like run marketing for your clients.
It would crush. It's either that or I'm like to the point where I'm like, dude, we just got to do done for you hiring. Like have a recruiting arm.
Yep. That's the other piece too. Like I if you could do that, I mean, at that point, like why would they leave? Because you would.
It's
like,
the biggest constraint.
Yeah, like because then they're just paying you a monthly retainer for hiring, or you just bake all of it into your offer, right? Like that. Like there's no additional upsells, but they have to pay monthly to keep everything. Like that would crush. I think that's like how you blow it up. Why would you not do the recruiting? Is it just like
pain in the ass?
Yeah, it's just a lot of work.
That's all it is, dude. I just gotta stomach it, you know.
Yeah, I guess because you'd have to think about the upside too. I don't know what. You have to have a pretty well-funded person to be able to afford all of it too, right? The ads and the recruiting. But if it works, they're going to crank and crush, and especially for your high-level people, right? So like, what's the average expected return on somebody? Like, okay, I have $1,000 a month. What could I expect if I'm like a decent closer and decently motivated person? What can I expect in my first year?
I would say you're at 30 to 40K a month for the first year. Our most competent people that come in are sitting at, I'd say 30 to 40K at the end of their first year. We have people who come in, they do 30K their first month. Skylar got to $1 million run rate in his first year. But I would say if you're decently motivated, 30 to 40K, maybe 50.
Nice. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good, dude. Like
it's a solid business, dude. Like it's a good business. It's just like it's not sexy.
Yeah,
you know. It's like,
but that's okay. Like I think like that's the other thing too. People are always like, dude, like start an AI. Like I just see these ads online, right? Like for all the other things that people could start when they're young.
Mhm.
It's like AI agency or a marketing agency or drop shipping, like all these other things. And I'm like, just do something that's not sexy that makes a lot of money. Like home services for us, it's wholesaling real estate, like just like things that are tried and true. Like they kind of like mirror each other where it's like, dude, like commercial buildings and home cleaning, like that's not going to go away anytime soon, no matter what. Houses for us aren't going to go away anytime soon. Like just
Well, dude, if something's been around for, centuries and decades and
exactly.
thousands of years, like you can expect, it's like a cup of coffee. People
Mhm.
drink cups of coffee for how long? Who knows? A really long time. If it's been around for so long, you can expect it to be around for a really, really long time. And
Yep.
yeah, I mean, and cleaning, like you've got real enterprise value too. So if you want to sell the business, you're starting the business with leverage because you're not personally building the relationships with the clients. So if you get the business to say $1 million a year, you can get a 2, 3, sometimes up to 4x multiple on the profit
Mhm.
because you're like the business can easily transfer to another owner.
Yeah.
Like there's no risk there.
Got it. No, that's awesome, man. And I guess like outside of work, like what else what are you focused on or what are you trying to do?
Not much. Do you like to golf?
There we
You
go.
like to golf? You like to golf?
Dude, yeah, we're going to Paynes Valley. So this is another thing that you should do. Um, we do golf masterminds,
Mm-hmm.
and basically we just go to the sickest golf courses and we charge 8 to 10K for the mastermind, and we just go golf for free.
Nice.
So
Okay. Nice, dude. Okay.
I mean, dude, like it's literally the best thing ever,
Unreal.
and people get great experiences out of it too. By the way, like I'm not
Mhm.
saying that I mean like we go. There's usually 8 to 12 depending on whatever. And like it's great. There's always high level people, and you just get to go play golf and for free. So
Yeah,
it's sick,
dude.
sick.
Yeah. I
But
like to
anyway,
golf.
so yeah, we play a lot of golf. Are you any good?
Um,
Like, what's your handicap?
I don't even know, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not that good, dude. Yeah, don't even ask me that, bro.
That's
I
funny.
don't know what my handicap is.
Mhm. And are you still based in Orange County?
Dude, I just got a couple pars last time I went. What was that? Red Rock.
There we go. Red Rock's
So,
nice. Yeah.
I had a few pars, a couple bogeys, dude. I made an adjustment in my swing and it's just been nasty. So I got to go more.
Yeah.
No, I'm here in Vegas, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm at Veer, if you know where Veer's at.
Oh yeah, I know. That's the one on the strip, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So you got a little high rise.
Yeah.
You single?
Single.
Nice.
Yep.
How's single life in Vegas?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome, but it's also very
single,
distracting.
making a little bit of money. Yeah.
Living
yeah,
on
life's
Strip,
good.
dude. Living on Strip is just. I'm gonna be moving back here soon, but yeah, living on the Strip is just so distracting, dude. Because I'm like Strip facing, right? So I face Cosmo, and all that light just comes in.
Yeah, it's just
and then it's just
begging you.
Streets calling your name, dude, every day.
That's funny.
But what I do like is like it's right next to Aria, so every time somebody's in town, which is it's like also kind of annoying though at this point because hey dude, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, like let's just go out.
And I say no, I get FOMO. I
Yeah.
say yes. I'm like probably end up saying out too late. So
I love it. So 5
Yeah.
years from now, what's the plan with the business and everything that you're doing? If you can look that far in the future.
dude, it's Home Service Academy, man. Like I wish I had a better answer. I've been asked this a couple times now, and I just don't have a really great answer other than like continue to focus on Home Service Academy and make it the best possible business. I do want to be one of the few guys in info that actually is able to sell their company because I know a lot of them aren't. It's a really hard business to sell
Yeah.
because of it's my face and
Well, yeah. I mean, you have key man risk.
Mhm.
The churn's really high relative to other businesses. And those are the kind of the two main things.
Yeah.
And then also, like, it is a marketing heavy business. But if you're okay with that, yeah, because we're trying to exit too in the next like 2 to 3 years. So yeah, I'm with you. Like we're trying to get all that situated.
Yeah, that's the big goal, man. That's the big goal is just focus on HSA, make it sellable.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
If you had to leave the earth tomorrow, what's one thing you want people to know?
Damn, that's a good question, man. I would say it's so cliche, dude, but like the amount of times I've wanted to give up or just be like, dude, I freaking hate this, man. Like, and something good just happens. Like, it's like so roller coastery. At least in my journey, has been the last 9 years. Even in the window cleaning business, I would say like, it's supposed to be hard. Like if you're feeling like, oh, this is hard, this is not all it's cracked up to be. I saw a guru ad and they promised this and that, and whatever, and you're like, it's not that. Like, just stick with it. Just stick with it, and good things will happen. And no matter what vehicle you're in, like any business makes money. There's a million ways to make $1 million. Like whatever you're doing, just stick with it and focus, and you'll see results if you stick with it long enough. It's super cliche, but
No, I mean,
It's a,
I think that's honestly the best advice you could give, where any of these niches can make money. Home services, wholesaling. I was just ragging on stock trading and all these other things that are out there. But in theory, they all could make money if you're consistent enough. Are some better than others? Absolutely. But the problem is people just bounce from thing to thing to thing, or they never even actually put the work in, right? I mean, you're in info, I'm in info. How many people pay and then don't do anything?
Oh, so many.
Yeah. And then that's just, it's a problem, dude.
Yeah, and spend thousands of dollars, and it's one-on-one too. So it's like you're on their ass.
Yeah,
Like,
and they don't hop on the calls or whatever, right? Does that happen?
100%, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just life gets a lot easier. You get a lot luckier the more you work, right? And, for us, we're pretty faith-based, and like a lot of people are always like, hey man, like, dude, I'm just waiting on my blessings. But like one thing about God is he blesses work. Like if you show up and you do the work, and you give God something like that he can bless, like God's just not going to drop $1 million on your doorstep.
Totally agree, dude.
Yeah.
That's very well said.
Yeah. You should have to have something that, something to be worth blessing. So yeah, just do the work.
The grass is green where you water it, man.
Amen to that.
Yep.
Cool, man. So if somebody wants to start a home service business, where can people find out about you? Where can they link up with you?
Yeah. So we have our YouTube channel, which is Johnny and Sergio. That's we post a ton of content, long form content on there. A lot of high production like YouTube videos.
Squeegee King or Squeegee God?
Squeegee God on X or Twitter.
Yeah.
I have a new Instagram account called Johnny the CEO, but also Johnny and Sergio on Instagram. It's our joint account. And then Johnny and Sergio on TikTok.
Cool, dude. Closing thoughts.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. This was a good one.
Yeah.
I think people are going to get some value out of it. So
yeah, 100%,
cool,
man.
Appreciate you guys. Peace.